So able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So coming to today we'll be just discussing about the features about the different features which Pega offers and what are the different advantages of Pega over the other programming languages and what are the different versions, all those things. So Pega is a BPM tool. Okay, so it's a BPM tool. Now BPM again is a method. It's a methodology which is there, and not only Pega, there are many BPM tools which we have in the market. So Pega is one of them. So we'll see in detail what BPM is maybe in the next class. So Pega is a BPM tool with which we can create web applications and mobile applications and also chatbots. So mobile applications and chatbot. So these are the different types of applications which we can be created using Pega. So you can create these applications using Java. You can create it using C, C++, different languages you can use to create. But why Pega? What is the advantage of Pega? Why? What sets it apart from the other programming languages? Let's see. So to start with, this tool was introduced by a person called as Alan Treffler. So he is the person who has introduced this tool, who has invented this tool, and is currently the CEO of Pegasystems. So currently, the main aim, while the tool was getting designed, there were two important agendas or two important things which he wanted to achieve using this tool. So the first one was build for change, or no code or low code, you can say. Agenda. First one was no code or low code, and the second one is build for change. So these were the two important things which he wanted to achieve using this Pega. So first is no code or low code. So first let's see what this is. So no code or low code means he wanted to reduce coding to a very greater extent. Like, see, if there is less coding involved, more and more people will come forward to learn the tool. Even like suppose if they have worked in a non-code, if they are from a non-coding background, for them to learn a language which involves a huge amount of coding, it would be difficult. But if the coding is less, then they'll also come forward to learn. So he wanted more and more people to learn this tool, so that is one of the major things which which he wanted to achieve. And so no, why we call it as no code? See, completely we cannot avoid coding. There is coding involved, but not much. So you can say low code because now many things are now automated. For example, if you take whatever you do, whatever, if you place an online order, or if you sign up on any site, or if you do any transaction using your bank account, you get mails triggered to your registered mail id, right? In this see, in the same way, that sending mails is very common to any application. It's a very basic functionality which we expect out of any application. So what in the same way, in Pega applications also, sending emails is very common. So that is the reason why the code is already written. You don't have to write the code. You don't have to write the code for sending emails. It is already there. You reuse it. So in this way, Pega has written the common functionalities, like the commonly used things like sending emails, sending attaching attachments to your email, converting your Excel to PDF, PDF to Excel. All these things are already there because these are very common things which we expect out of any application. So the code for this is already there. You just have to use it. So that is why the concept of low code. So with every update or with every version release, they try to give out some common functionality. Initially, create PDF, we had to write the code to create a PDF, but now that's not the case. The PDF is now we have an automated function which already has, which where the code is already written and the PDFs are getting generated so in this way, Pega gives lots of updates, lots of functionality which is already written, which is inbuilt, or you can call it as inbuilt, or you can also call it as out of the box. That is nothing but OTP. And then you have build for change. So build for change is nothing but enhancing it, continuously enhancing it. Now if you take a live example of WhatsApp, if you that voice call, that audio call, and that video call were not there before, they came up now. If you see WhatsApp like 5 to 6 years back, you did not have all these options. You did not have payment option, you did not have that location, sending of location option. So these are all coming up now because they are all enhancements, they're all updates which are being done to the existing application. So that is built for change. Now you're going to build your application in such a way that it can accept new changes very easily. So that is where your Pega has an advantage over the other programming languages. So the Pega applications can accept changes easily. So these were the two things which less coding. So these were two important things which he wanted to achieve, and that was the main focus while this tool was being designed. So this tool is completely built on Java. So if you see the underlying functionality of Pega, it's in Java. So that doesn't mean that you should know Java. You should, even if you don't know Java, that is fine because we never use it. But built on, it's completely built on Java. So, are we good till here? Any doubts? Any questions?
Meena, I have got something to ask from you.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
what if somebody asks, are we working on Pega? So, what do we call as like when we get trained on Pega
Hmm.
and when we started working for Pega? So, is it a Pega consultant we can call them, or uh, how
Mm,
how do we describe,
you can call them as an developer or as an architect.
Okay, Pega developer or the architect.
Hmm.
So we are not
Architect.
developing anything. We are not involved any sort of technical stuff or any sort of coding or
Why?
programming. They're connected to it.
Why are we not involved in developing and designing?
No, no, no. I'm asking. We are not involved for the coding and programming, right? Nowhere.
No, no, it's coding only. It's coding, but you also use the existing code given by Pega and also you code. There is coding involved, but there is coding involved. You also code, you also use the out of the box functionality.
Hello,
Hello. Yeah, yeah. So
Meena,
there is
can you hear me?
coding
Okay.
involved. It's not yes, yes. So there is coding involved. You code and also you use the out of the box functionalities and so on.
So we code. So
Yes,
as you
you
said,
code.
it's not necessary that we should have a knowledge of coding.
Knowledge
So
on Java, I told.
okay. So coding is involved. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank
But
you
you
so
have
much.
Pega functions, not any like not any language like Java, Python, C, not that coding. You have
Mhm.
your own Pega functions which you should be using.
So is it easy that a non-technical person can learn?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thanks for that.
Mhm. So now let's go with the features. Mm, Yeah, so the first feature is which I've already told you, that is built for change, and the next one is security. So Pega applications are very much secure because see, security is very important for any application, be it Pega or any application. But Pega applications are mostly used in insurance and banking domain. If you take what do you say, any application in Pega, it would be either a claims application or it could be a banking application, any banking domain application. So 90% of the Pega projects are in these two domains. Now they are trying out different domains like customer service framework or smart dispute framework. These are all now coming up, but the projects which we used to have from the beginning, they either belong to insurance or banking. So these domains, they carry very sensitive information, right? So the information of the end user should not be leaked or should not get it should not be revealed to some third party. So it has to be safeguarded. So for that purpose, what Pega does is it converts the data which you enter on the UI into block format. Pega has its own database. We don't need to create any XML database. Pega has its own databases, so we can directly save the data. Let's say if I enter on the UI, while it is getting saved, it will be saved as something like this in alphanumeric way. This is called as block format. Okay, so now if any unauthorized person, suppose I'm not part of your application, even though I get the access to your database, I cannot understand anything because the data is all encrypted. So that is one way, and there are many other ways in which they safeguard their application. Like they don't give access to everyone. There are some rules, many rules actually, 5 to 6 concepts where the access is restricted. So that is a very good way of providing in which Pega provides security. And the next option is speed. So Pega applications are 7 to 8 times faster than any other language, faster than other programming languages. So why I say this? Because let's say there are two languages. There is Pega and there is some other language. So let's take C or C++. Now, if you want to build I give you an application. So if one team is building in Java C and one team is building it using Pega. So if you use Pega, you require around 10 to 12 people within a span of 3 to 4 months you can complete. But if you use Java, you need at least 20 to 22 people, and you need more than 5 to 6 months to complete that application. So that's a huge difference. The huge difference comes when you try to when you use Pega. These are easy to deploy, easy to develop, easy to the time to market is less. The only reason is because of the out of the box functionalities and UI is completely there. You just use it. You don't work on UI these days because of the enhancement, because of the latest updates which we have on Pega now. So that's why the Pega applications are can be deployed very quicker than other when compared to the other languages. But having said that, it is not an open source tool. So if you want to work on Java, you download Eclipse. Right? It's an open source tool. You just download it from Google. But if you want to work on Pega, you cannot work. You need to have licensed software from Pega. So it is not an open source tool. Now let's say if I have a company and if I want to build a Pega if I want to build an application on Java, I download Eclipse from Google and I start working on it. But the same thing I cannot do with Pega. I cannot download it from Google because it's a completely licensed tool, and the license is held by Pega Systems. If you want to work on Pega, you need to pay huge amount of license to Pega Systems, and then they'll give you the license. Then you start installing it, and then you start working on it. The reason now, see, there is an open source tool, there is a license tool. So the cost of the license is also very huge. But still, many companies are opting for Pega. The only reason is time to market. Like if they spend some amount on getting the license, the tool is deployed earlier. The application is deployed in 4 to 5 months, and you start earning profit rather than waiting for 8 months and then getting the application deployed and then getting the profit. You can spend some amount, get the license, and deploy it as soon as possible. So ultimately, everything is business. So that is one thing. And also now if you want to work on Pega, you cannot install. So we'll give you one link where you can download your personal editions and then only you can install Pega. Because to install it, you need to have an account with Pega Academy. So that is one thing. And speed, and then you have debugging. So debugging, what is see, every application will have some defects, right? There will be some or the other thing which might be missed and which will be giving you defect. So, so that there are three important debugging tools. So debugging is nothing but to find out where the issue is. So Live UI, Tracer, and Clipboard. So these are the three important debugging tools which Pega provides. And using this, so this doesn't mean that all of them work in a similar way. Each tool works in a different way. But in order to find out the issue, it can be a big issue or it can be a very smaller one, it can be a major issue. You can find that out using these three debugging tools. So any complex issue, any simple issue can be found out using these tools. So even if you are not a good developer, you should be someone who can trace very well using these three tools. So see, you can, because not every time you get issues in the code which you write. Sometimes there might be issues coming in from because of some other code. Like someone has written the code and they left the organization, and then after they left, the issues are coming up. So you need to able to understand the code and try to understand from where that issue is coming, and then you need to work on it. So tracing is a very important aspect in Pega. And performance. So sometimes when you see this, whenever you see there is a sale on any of the e-commerce site like Amazon or Flipkart, sometimes you see the system gets hanged because because there'll be too many users will be trying to access that site. So that's when the site would be overloaded and you'll not be able to proceed. It gets stuck on the same screen. So that is because they have not handled the application to handle that much load. So every application before deploying to the end users, before telling the end users to use that application, what we have to do is we have to do a performance testing of that application. We just use some virtual users to we just have them log into our application and see how much load that application can handle. 1,000 users, 1,000 concurrent users, 10,000 concurrent users. So we try to find out that limit, like how many users can use that application at once, at a single instance, how many users can use that application. So in order to find out that, there are many performance testing tools which are available in the market. You have RPT, Rational Performance Tester, different tools, but then you need to go you need to get the license from them because they're all third party, they're not present inside the tool. But with Pega you have this tool inbuilt coming along with Pega. So when you install Pega, this performance tools also gets installed. You don't have to go for a third party tool. So when you have, so this performance tools, they give you the piece or the part of code which is causing slowness also. They'll give you how much time it should execute and how much time it is taking to execute. Like a piece of code should take 30 seconds for execution, but it is taking 60 seconds. So it will be clearly mentioned in the logs that it is this part of the code is causing issue. So mostly this is not done by people. This is usually done by people who are like 10 to 15 years of experience, having of Pega experience. So because it involves lots of analysis. So, but you just need to have an idea how that works, and then performance, and then you have reports. So this is also one of the important feature. So see, report is nothing but a consolidated data. Like um, if you take the progress card of a student, so in that progress card, you'll be able to see his progress for every 2 months, right? For all the subjects, you'll be able to see his performance in a single place. In a single place, you can access his performance and you can compare his performance with the previous month and all those things. So in the same way, let's say I have an insurance company and I want to know the number of cases or the number of claims which are being raised in one day. So I can do that by using, so I can use report because I'm not interested in knowing who raised it, what is the amount they are claiming, and what was the incident that took place. I am not interested in all those details. I just want to know how many cases are raised in one day. So I just want to know the rate, like in one day, how many cases are coming in 10 days, how many cases, in 1 week, how many cases are coming in. I just want to know the numbers. So when I want to have a consolidated data, then these reports are useful. So by default, Pega gives 47 reports. Okay, so you can use them, you can modify them, and you can also create new ones. So whenever you are given a requirement, you first have to see whether that requirement is, whether that report is already existing or not. If it is existing, well and good, you can use it. If it is not existing, then you go ahead and create. And one good advantage of this report is that they come in different formats. Like you might have seen pie charts, bar graphs, right? Different shapes, different colors. You can do all those things using this report. And yes, default APIs. Default now this default APIs is nothing but um, your what do you say, functionality. I told you, right? With every version, they try to give out some functionality which is coming, which can be used by everyone. So as I mentioned, that PDF option was not there, but now we have that because with every release, they try to automate some common functionality. Like email is a common functionality which will be used by any application, be it banking, be it anything. So if you take Amazon, you get an email once you place an order. If you take Flipkart, you get an order. If you take any other site, after placing the order, you get an email. So in the same way, since it's a commonly used functionality, Pega people wrote the code. So when I want to send an email from my application, I can use their code. So the common functionalities which are common across all the domains, all the applications, they try to write the code for that. So because when they write the code, they'll be according to Pega standards. Because one thing in Pega can be done in many ways. You can code it in many ways. But the one but while writing the code, you should adhere to all the best practices which are provided by Pega. So when Pega people write the code, so it would be 100% they will be following Pega best practices. So it is advisable to use their code. So now we are getting lot of APIs with every version, with every release. That is one advantage. But yeah, now how will you know like which API they have introduced? With every release, they'll give out a document. So in that document, they'll mention the new changes which they have added and the new APIs they have added and what is the new functionality that that will be able to see in the new version. So all those all those things will be mentioned in that document. And then you have framework. So why framework is a feature now? Because see, framework is nothing but a ready-made built application. Now, if I just give you one vague example, um, ready-made application. So if I just give you one example, let's say if I want to buy a dress, then there are two options which I have. Like I can just buy it, I can just buy a ready-made dress, or I can take a cloth, I can give my measurements, and I can get it stitched, right? So that involves lot of time. But if I buy a ready-made dress, it is it takes less amount of time and I get it delivered directly. In the same way, this framework is nothing but a ready-made application. Now, all the applications are not there. There are few frameworks which are there. As I've told you that this tool is mostly being used in financial domain, banking domain. So what Pega did is it created a claims framework. Okay, because there are many insurance applications which are based on Pega. So what they did, like claims is nothing but like you buy a policy, you met with an accident, you raise the claim, like whatever you paid, you get it refunded. So that is a simple claim process, but different countries will have different procedures. So they need different documents to refund that amount. So different countries based on different procedures you have, but the process is same. The claims, the essence is the same. So what Pega did is it created a claim framework. Now, if I am creating any new claims application, I can directly buy tool from Pega. I can directly buy Pega tool from Pega Systems, or I can buy a claims framework from Pega Systems. So when I buy a framework, I need not work. I need not work much because the 70% of the application will be built. Only 30% I need to build. So I need to modify or I need to customize. So one example I can give you here. So if you see, this is a free charge application where okay. See, this is a free charge application where you can do your recharges. So you give mobile number, you select whether it is prepaid or postpaid, and then you select the operator, then you proceed. Now, this is a different application. This is Paytm application. Now here also you do mobile, you give prepaid, postpaid, you give mobile number, operator, and then you proceed to recharge. See here both the applications are performing the same task, but the way in which they do is different. Here if you see the UI, it is in like shades of whites and blues. Here it's in shades of whites and oranges. So here the end result is the same, but then if there are some customizations. So what I'll do is I'll create a framework for recharge. Now Freecharge will take and customize this white and orange, and Paytm will take and customize it accordingly. So then they see whatever the common functionality is there, I'll put it in framework so they don't have to do it again. So that is what framework is, and Pega is having framework for claims. There is customer service framework, there is smart dispute. These are the three frameworks which we are using now. Customer, that's the reason why this is customer service framework and smart dispute. Okay. So one thing, the most frequently asked question these days is, have you worked on any framework? This is a commonly asked question. So you can so very rarely we get a chance to work on frameworks because at the time when the applications were built, these frameworks were not there. These frameworks came in like last year or before last year, I guess. So you can say that you have not worked on any framework. You are directly working on Pega tool, like building everything from the scratch. So these are some of the features of Pega, some of the advantages of using Pega. Okay, so any doubts still here? Or any doubt not related to anything you want to ask particular, you can ask me. Okay, so let's move forward. Yeah, now coming to the versions. So versions are nothing but updates. You get frequent updates in your mobile phones, right? If it's an OS update, you get 10, you get 10.0.0, you get 11.0.0, you get many updates. So in the same way, Pega also has updates. So I think it started from 4. So fourth version, fifth version, sixth version, seventh version. Currently, we are using eighth version. No, not using, I can say. Currently, we have eighth version. So again, when I say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's not only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, like that. Again, every version has some subversions. Like if I take 7, we had 7.1. we had 7.2, we had 7.3, we had 7.4. So like that, there are different versions. Now currently Pega is giving 8.6 version. So for every 2 to 3 months, we get a new version from Pega. Now, how will you identify whether it's a major change or a minor change? See, I will just put it like this. 8.7.x and 8.x. So when I say 7.x, that means 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. We had till 7.4. Okay, we did not have 7.5. We had till 7.4. And after 7.4, we directly got 8.0. So here one catch for you is when the right hand side of the decimal changes, like this 1 is changing to 2, right? When the right hand side of the decimal changes, there will be small changes, like minor changes, which you might not be able to see also. But when the left-hand side of the decimal changes, then there will be major change which we can see, or which will bring a major change to our Pega system, to our Pega development environment where we work. So this is one small catch for you. So the same change we got when we got 8.0. So from 7.4, we directly got 8.0, and now currently it's 8.6. So up to 7, like 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 7.4, we had only two studios, Designer Studio and Pega Express. Now, what is this? These are nothing but workspaces. Now, I'm working I'm writing everything on Notepad, right? So this is my workspace. Okay. So in the same way, where you write in Pega, that becomes your, so that is your workspace where you, now if you are creating any Word document, you type something in Word. So that is your workspace where you are actually working. In the same way, Pega had only two studios, two workspaces till seventh version. It was Designer Studio and it was Pega Express. But now in eighth version, we had four studios. We have Dev Studio, App, Admin, and Prediction. Okay. So now, firstly, before moving to this Dev App and Admin, here you can see Designer Studio, right? And Pega Express. So what's the basic difference between them is here you cannot do complex coding. You cannot do. You can only do simple coding. But here you can do simple to complex coding. It's both. Here only simple coding. Here simple to complex coding you can do. Now coming to this. Here, this Dev Studio is nothing but your Designer Studio. It has been renamed, and App Studio is nothing but your Pega Express. Again, it has been renamed, and these are the two new studios which have been added. And this Prediction Studio is for what do you call them, data scientists. It's not for Pega developers. It's for data scientists, people who will be working on the artificial intelligence side of Pega, not for Pega developers. So as a Pega developer, we'll be using only these three studios: Dev, App, and Admin. And so this is a newly added studio, where these were already there, but they have been renamed now. So that is just a simple explanation about the studios. So I'll be taking you through the studios maybe in our next class. So today I'm just giving you an overview. Now coming to this course, coming to the certification. See, there are many certifications which Pega offers. Okay, so there are many. There is a UI course, there is a decision consultant, business architect, Pega developer. Many courses are there. But for a developer, you need three important. There are only three important courses. First one is CSA, CSSA, CLSA. These are the three important course certifications which you need to do for a Pega developer. If you want to be a developer, these are the three certifications. So this is CSA, the first level which we'll be covering, and CSA. This is Certified System Architect, Certified Senior System Architect, certified lead system architect. So this is the last course. Your CSA and CSSA will be multiple choice question. It would the passing percentage is 65, and it's a multiple choice question exam. And the first thing, if you want to do CSSA, you cannot start with it. You need to do this. You should come in an order. These are prerequisites. And whereas CLSA is there is part one and part two to it. One is practical, one is multiple choice question. So, like if you have worked on at least 7 to 8 Pega projects, if you have handled 7 to 8 Pega applications single-handedly, then only you can go with this exam because that's how complex it is. So that's the last level. So coming to our course, I'll be covering CSA and half of CSSA. Okay, so just to make sure that you should be able to work on your projects when you get a real type project. Because what if you go with only CSA, then you'll be able to cover only the certification. You won't be getting hands-on to do it in the real time. So that's why I just combine both and take it as a developer course. And yeah, so the classes would take at least 32 to 35 hours for the course to complete. And so you'll be given documents, you'll be given assignments, and also some sample questions, how the questions would be in CSA, and some sample interview questions also. If you want, I can give you. Mm, so yeah, that's it from my side. So if you have any questions, anything related to course or anything, you can ask me now. And yeah, regarding the tool, we'll give you an access to the tool. You need to download it in your personal edition. You need to download it in your personal machine so that you can work on it. No
Okay,
question?
got it. Not as of now, Meena.
Okay, fine. So you can always get back. That's not a problem.
Yeah, might be when we
Okay.
move forward, then we'll come up with
Hmm.
many questions.
Yeah.
Hi. Actually, I joined lately. May I know
Which
your name,
one?
please?
It's Meena.
Hi. Hi, Meena.
Hi.
Uh,
Hi, Soumya.
uh, will in the process of this training, will you show the real-time stuff to us?
So there'll be many security issues if I show you the real-time scenario because uh,
Hmm.
you understand, right? Yeah, but yeah, if you want to see, like I can just stop the recording and I can show you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
you
that should
can
not
do.
be revealed again. So because it would be a problem for me, right? Because you're an employee.
Yeah,
Mhm.
understood. Actually, I'm also employed. Um,
Okay.
like I know like my friends who were trained in AWS and all, they also do the same kind of training which
Mm-hmm.
we are now doing.
Mm-hmm.
So their trainer, what they did, like whenever showing the real time stuff, he used to stop the recording,
Right,
and
right.
he restrict other ones and like the learners to stop the recording, and then
Hmm.
he will show the stuffs whatever
Yes,
he's
yes, yeah, I
explaining.
can book that for you, no problem.
Okay,
So
thank
you
you.
you joined later. So can you just tell me about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Myself, Soumya Machalla. I'm a working employee right now, working in
Mm-hmm.
Capgemini, having
Okay.
3 years of experience working in mainframe technology. Mm,
Mainframes.
Like,
Okay.
actually, I was in the call. That's why I joined lately.
Uh,
Mm, I do have calls in the evening from 7:30 to 8:30, and it may
okay.
extend. I don't know how much time it will
Mm-hmm.
take.
Yeah, yeah, I can
So,
understand.
oh, that's why I joined late. I informed to Narendra. Actually, he picked up the call. So, but as I have the time, I joined in the session. I think it's a better
Mm-hmm.
class. I can say you frankly, better than the previous demo which I already joined.
Okay. And also, Divya, even you got disconnected, I guess.
Yeah, hi Meena. Actually,
Hi. Hmm.
I have I have earphones problem.
Okay, okay.
Myself
Because
Divya.
this. Mm-hmm,
Currently, I am working for Wipro for Google
mm-hmm,
Process.
okay.
I have 2.5 years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to.
Okay. So yeah, one thing I can assure you is like this would be good, but provided if you do the assignments and all whatever I give you for that day, if you're because see many people get trained and getting placed, so definitely a good one. But some effort from your side and yeah, because like packages and all, there are very good openings also. So all these are the advantages. Not because I teach Pega, but yeah, that's how the real time is now. During the last 1.5 year, like after COVID started, I can say there are large number of openings because now many projects are now coming into Pega. Many government projects because we never used to have government projects built on Pega, but now we have many like Australian government project. That's a huge project which came in last year. So now there is a lots of recruitment going on in Australia for that government project. So they're hiring people from India also. So hiring is good, but some effort from your end, and definitely it would be a very good feature because like 9 to 10 years for the next 9 to 10 years, Pega is there. So yeah, the reason why I asked you to introduce is like because I need to understand like if you have IT background or not. So that's the reason. And there was someone who was 2020 passed out, right? Vasavi. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so there is one opening for freshers. Okay, so Vasavi, I might contact you. I'll just get your details from Narendra and then I'll call you. So yeah, so any other questions?
If you don't mind, may I know your experience in Pego and in
Yes.
other technology?
Yeah, you joined late. Yeah, so I have 7 years of experience. I'm currently working with Eritians. Yeah, 7 years of Pega experience.
Okay, thank
I
you.
worked with
Thank-
Infosys before. Now I moved to a startup. So,
Okay.
okay. Okay, then if you have any questions, you can get back. And yeah, so if there are no questions, we'll close for the day. We'll meet again.
Sure, Meena. Thanks for
Bye.
the
Take
session.
care.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe all.
Yeah. Bye. Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.